Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, morning. Gotta get my heart back. I need to put some tape or something behind this. That's why I keep messing with it. So I'm up super early. It's like probably almost 2 now, I think. I think it's about 2 something, but I've been up since 1. And this topic is like a childlike love or child love. However, I want to talk about a couple of different things before I jump into the topic. So when it comes to communicating with kids, I do believe in certain things, okay? So first and foremost, if I haven't said good morning, and I hope everybody having an amazing day. But back to the message. So I do believe in a couple of different things. When it comes to kids, communicating is first and foremost key. Communication, talking, getting to understand your child or children. That means both direction, not just being a director or just being, telling them about themselves or talking at them. Also being a listener to understand them. I don't care if they're a toddler trying to get words out or a teenager, up to a teenager or whoever, or adult. I do truly believe in getting to understand your kids and learning who they are. When you get to that point where you can understand their way of understanding things, then you can go from there. Now with kids, when it comes to communication and discipline, there's a difference. So like for my kids try to play like they don't know sometimes. And don't get me wrong, I've been down that road before. But when you pay attention to your kids, you will know when they're pretending that they don't know something and when they really don't know something. Okay? Also, try different communication points, because there's times when I can talk about certain things, and when I talk to my kids, I'm talking to them as if they was not so much as an adult, but I talk as if I'm talking to an adult, because they understand on that level. I don't have to dilute the words. Then there are sometimes, like my kids will tell me, especially my youngest one, and even when my kids were little, they would be like, I would say certain words just to check their vocabulary to see if they understand. So I would say certain things, and I'll be like, do you understand me? They'll either say yes, or they'll be like, no. And I'm like, what you don't understand? And they'll tell me what it is, or like my son, he'd be like, I don't know that word. So now I dilute the word, because I don't want to offend my kids' intelligence. Because a lot of times we talk down at our kids when they were super smart. So I start on certain levels, not too high, but kind of midway, to see if they understand. Because I'm like this. I have enough of knowledge to know that my kids can go out into the world. I don't care little or what. They learn things from other people. So I'm trying to, it's a way to check to see what they have learned when they're not around me. Okay? Reality speaking. So when they talk, I figure those things out. So like my son, he'll be like, I don't know that word. So I take the word and I go down one more step. I don't take it too low. I go to the next step. Then I ask him, do you understand what I'm saying now? Yes. Okay. Now, after what I said, now tell me what I'm telling you on how I feel. Like, tell me, now, how can I say, replay back to me what we're talking about. So if he did something wrong, and I'm explaining to him what he did wrong, and with the consequences behind it, to make sure he understands why he's being disciplined. However I decide to do that, I need him to understand that. So I have him to communicate that information back to me, because if they can communicate it back to me, we shouldn't have a part 2 or 3 moment on this subject. Now, if you don't do that, then guess what? If a child decided to do the same thing again, now my thing is this: is it the child's fault for doing it, or your fault for not making sure they understood it? Okay? Because if they didn't understand, then you are disciplining a child that never understood the first time why they was being disciplined. So that's why I do what I do. So then if they did come back and try again, first off, you knew the first time what that was. You knew what was going on, and you knew what was going to happen. So now I can discipline you a different way. Because now that didn't work, we're going to try, now we got to go a step harder. Okay? So how I discipline my kids is, when they were special, when they're younger, I'll take something away for a couple minutes. I don't start super extreme. I start small. So I might say, okay, you can't play with something for a couple minutes, like about 10, 20 minutes. And then they'll get it back. I would sometimes ask them, do you understand? Was it worth it? That's one of the things I ask them. Was it worth it? With taking something away. And sometimes they say, yeah, which is understandable, because what we do, sometimes we do stuff and we say, shucks, the discipline behind it's worth what I just got, what I just done. So I'm like, okay, as long as you understand, next time they do something, I might take something away from like an hour or whatever, and I'll elevate it based off their age. Now if they're older, then okay, we'll do like all day, you know, something all day or whatever. Now there are times where I might, in my disciplinary, I might do something different. So I might say, okay, write sentences. Like if their handwriting is not the best or something like that, that's how I do it. So I'm like, okay, write sentences. You got to write this sentence 30 times or 100 times, something like that. One is to help them to get their handwriting right. Number two, it helps them to realize what they're doing. Okay, it's a learning experience to help build one weakness up, but also by understanding why the other issue need to be diluted. Okay, I do stuff like that. Excuse me. Extra chores, certain things like that. Sometimes I might say, okay, now since you're acting up, like when all of us was together, I might say, okay, like I have my kids doing dishes and stuff, okay, they're gonna do some chores, they gotta clean up rooms and stuff, but I might say, okay, you know what, instead of you have to do the other one have to do the dishes, you'll do their chores for that week and do it like that. I do believe in kids learning how to do these things. I don't care if you do have all the money in the world, because at the end of the day, life happens. So you need to know how to survive on your own and not to depend on somebody. Just because you have somebody there that can clean up and do for you, still learn how to do it. Those little things help you to clear your mind out. It helps to relax your mind. It helps you to know how to organize and keep things in order. I'm not saying you don't have to have it picture perfect all the time, but it's a mental thing at the same time. Also, it helps them to learn that once things are complete or cleaned up or whatever like that, it's something to look back at, to acknowledge some change. It helps them to acknowledge what happens with progress. Like when something is dirty or whatever, or need to be clean, and once you clean it up, you have something to look at and show you to say, this is what happens when you take your time and you organize yourself and you stay how can I say, in order. You have something to look back at. It's like a future thing. So when you get in life, you get a job or you have a family or whatever, when you put your best foot forward and do what you need to do, you have something to look back at. So that's the best way I can say it. What else? Those are different things I say. I don't believe in giving kids medicine. Okay, even for my daughter, when she went through her moment that I told y'all about in some videos back, we did go to like a therapist or whatever, and they did prescribe her medicine. I think I allowed her to do it for a week, and then I shut that mess down, because then now they're getting addicted to something and feel like that they need medicine to help them to be a better person, and it's a mental thing. Once they start at a young age, they will never get out of it until they fight it themselves, because they'll be dependent on it. It's like the medicine is like having a parent with them 24/7. Like, please come with me. I need you. I can't go here. I can't do this without this. So I don't believe in giving kids medicine. I know that kids have, and while I'm talking, I can hear people asking certain things. So that's why I'm talking the way I am. With kids with ADHD, you better be hyped with them. Find things. I know they bounce around a lot and have a lot of energy. But how you handle that is this: help them stay focused. Like my son, he will, like, we were doing homework yesterday, right? So he has homework for the whole week. However, what I do is I don't sit back and do one topic every day. Heck no. I need it. No. We do it all at one time. When Monday come in, normally Monday is the day we'll do it. We'll do all the homework at one time, be done, that he can be able to be as active as he wants the rest of the week or whatever. He had that free time. But this is what happened. When we do his homework, he gets distracted. So we'll do a topic, we'll do something, and in the midst of it, he'll be like, oh, I need to show you this. I need to show you that. No, sit down. Focus. But I need to focus. See, you have to keep that alignment in order. You have to help them to get back online, focus. He'll do a little bit and stuff, and then he'll get a little tantrum. He get a little tantrum ways, not like bad, but he'll start wanting focus. Focus. If you can't focus on this, you can't focus on the TV. Okay? I will start taking stuff away. Focus. Because when they get hyperactive, you have to bring order back into the court. Okay? You have to bring order back into it. That what helps them to start to slow their minds down, help them to acknowledge what they're doing. And by me doing that, it does help him to focus. Now he gets to the point that he used to whine all the time when we used to do his homework. Now he don't do it like that anymore. Once in a while he'll have his moments, but now he understands that if I don't stay focused, I cannot have my free time. I cannot do what I need to do. I'm wasting time. That's what you need to explain to them. Now that's homework. When they bounce around the house, give them something to keep their minds occupied. And being on the internet is not always going to do it. Yes, it helps you to breathe, and I get it. I got it. Don't get me wrong. My son been on this thing more than I want him to, but I cannot contradict myself because I'm on this thing myself. So I have to take ownership that I can't sit back and be mad at him and say, oh, you on this device all day long, and then I'm doing the same thing, but I'm providing messages. However, I make sure I spend time with them throughout the time. Okay, I'm on a journey. I'm trying to get some stuff done, and I'm being directed, so he good. Okay. However, with kids, try to spend more time with them. Get them outside. When they start bouncing around, get them outside the house. Take them outside, play with them and stuff like that. That's really what it is. No different than when we was kids. We had to get outside. So that's what I do with my son. I don't care. Even if I'm doing videos or whatever, I make a stop point and I do something with him. I don't care if I'm tickling him, we watching something, or we playing around, throwing something back and forth, or I take him outside. We'll, what we be doing? We'll play with, I got a little frisbee. We got these little airplanes, baseball. I throw the baseball and stuff. Whatever. We was digging into the dirt the other day, a couple of days ago. So, find something to keep them occupied. But spend time with them to help them to dilute some of their energy. It's another form of creativity. Allow them to be creative. But if you try to ignore it, their ADHD turns into anger. Just to let you know. If you want to know one of the fastest ways to have an angry child is somebody with ADHD. If they do not utilize their energy the right way, they will turn angry and hit and scream and everything. Yeah, so you better get ahead of the game before the game get ahead of you. Medicine, don't do that, okay? Don't give them medicine. Yeah, it helps you, but it hinders them in the long run. All right, so let that go. Hold on, I'm hearing something in my ear. Are you saying yes? Okay, all right. But yeah, it will turn into anger. Do like coloring artwork with the hands. See that's another thing. Hands, anything with their hands. Their mind is running, and they need something to stop it. So get like coloring something to color. Anything hands related. Not something somebody like, I don't want to be throwing nothing. Not like get like crayons, stuff like that. Artwork, art and music. Music makes a difference. Get music that is relaxing. It will actually help them to relax. It's just where the frequencies are going haywire, not in a bad way. It's they are very high vibrational. That's it. Their energy is like So you know how like a person it's just super happy, super hyped up. They energize. But it's not a bad thing. So music helps to relax them. At night, you hear. I'm not sure if you hear the music I have in the background. Hold on. So that's what I got. But if you saw it, my bad, my room. I gotta get it. But it's like relaxing music. Put relaxing music on at night. Okay. Be mindful of what they're watching. This is something for both. How my two oldest was. When my daughter watched certain TV shows when she was younger, certain TV shows activated her. Okay, when I mean activated her, it made her mad. Okay, certain TV shows will make her mad. So pay attention to what they're watching. Okay, and she was hyper too. But yeah, certain shows will trigger them to be mean and stuff like that with that, so be careful. But yeah, just get something with their hands. Give them something that they can do with their hands. They need to take this and transfer it to this, and it will help slow them down. What about video games? Are video games okay? Yeah, video games help people learn how to complete tasks. It does. But it's a trance at the same time. It will get them locked in at the same time. So you have to be careful. Allow kids to be able to play video games and stuff. Like the shooting games and stuff like that. My thing is this. There's all types of games. Because when we was playing kids, they had the Nintendo, the duck game where you were shooting ducks and stuff like that. They had a lot of stuff. The problem about shooting games and stuff like that, if you don't explain to kids the difference between a game and reality, that's where you have a problem. Okay, I'm not sitting here condoning that you're supposed to shoot people or stuff like that. However, explain to them the safeties of a gun. Okay, the not the safeties, but the consequences of utilizing a gun in real life, and how it can harm people and stuff like that. But a lot of those games, you can look at it one way. You can look at it as killing, or you can look at it as teamwork. Okay, everything has a positive and a negative in it. So you can look at things as a teamwork, that they learning how to work with a team. Because a lot of those games, they not playing by themselves. They're playing with other people around the world. And when they do that, it's teaching them how to be a team. So that helps. But also do board games and stuff like that. Get them outside of the game into another game where they can learn how to not just understand what they see, but what they feel. Okay, so let's get back into like the family board games and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not saying use it as a disciplinary thing, but you can. And what I mean by that is use it as a family time and say, you know what? Because you was acting up today or you did something wrong, we're going to do something different. So it's more so like they're getting this punishment, but they going to use it in a different way. It's family time, so they'll still get the enjoyment out of it. I ain't gonna lie, it's like a psychological thing. It's to help to wean them away from the thing, because once they start seeing like the board games and stuff, they'll start getting into it. Because like my kids, I used to get them into board games and stuff, and they actually like it. Now Monopoly 101, that's like a long game, but at the same time different ones. And that's another thing, Monopoly is a very long game, but it helped them to learn how to utilize money too. So find ways to communicate, but educate at the same time. I utilize everything as an educational moment, but I'm mindful. So sometimes when certain things go on, if there's a moment, I'll try to utilize that as an educational moment, but I try to do it in a way where they don't realize that, you know how it is with kids. They don't want to listen. So you do it during a game, and then they get the understanding of the concept without feeling like they being lectured. Okay? That's the best way I can say. Let me get to the nit and grit. The one part that a lot of people are questioning if it's still okay. First and foremost, for what I'm about to say, I need you to understand this. If your mental is not in the right place, do not do what I'm about to tell you that is okay for right now. That is okay. Everybody got their own beliefs. Okay? But if your mental, if you know you're going through a lot of stress and you're sitting back and you got a lot on your mind, do not do this. So I still do believe in old school, tearing that child behind up, not abusing, but popping. There's reasons. Everything that I've stated already may not work for your child. Every child is different, okay? Some kids You have to do things differently. Some kids you can talk to, it ain't getting it to them. Some kids you can take stuff away, it ain't getting to them. Some kids you can change things around, it ain't getting to them. Okay? Some of y'all got those stubborn tail kids, but they stubborn because their brains is just out there, and they sometimes the basics is not easy for them to understand. Prime example for myself. There's some the basic of the basic knowledge that my brain can't comprehend some days, because my brain is so far out there. The basics is like torture to me. It's like, what the heck we doing this for? You know, because I see the bigger picture. So sometimes my brain don't connect to certain things like the average person on some stuff. So y'all hear it when I talk. It's like, how is she smart and dumb at the same time? I'm telling you what y'all say, and I see it. I hear it. Because I know that's how y'all thinking. How the heck? How the heck? This child is this intelligent but sounds dumb at the same time. I know. But it's basic stuff. Certain things my brain cannot comprehend. I'll be honest, even lately, I be trying to spell words. My brain was like, it would shut me out, be like, nope. So it's like, for me, if it's not meant for me in my process, if it's not meant for me to, if it's not a need in my life, my brain is cutting it all the way out. It's like, you don't stress that, change it to this. This is something you have to use. So back to the situation. With a child, disciplining. If you do want to still just do old school, I recommend these levels. Hold on one second. Y'all. Okay. It fails, so much meant for me to say that. You see this? This ruler. You can pop, not on the head or anything, on the hands or something. So, for me, when my kids was little, and they do something, this is a little plastic, I don't hit it hard, but the little knuckles, I will pop the little knuckles in a heartbeat if they act up. Because, like, if they touching something, this is a thing. As kids, as toddlers or whatever, a lot of times you have stuff laying out and you tell the kids, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. At the same time, what y'all do, a lot of times y'all pick it up and move it. Don't do that. Because anytime you pick something up and move it, these little toddlers, kids, they're going to think that anytime there's something that I don't supposed to touch, somebody going to move it. If it's not moved, then I can touch it. Okay? Be mindful about that. So, first off, for a little toddler or kid, when they're touching stuff, all right, look at what they're touching. First and foremost, look at what they're touching. If it's not something bad, I don't care if it's a vase, I don't care if it's a picture or whatever. Just take a moment before you be like, don't touch it, it's going to break. Just take a step back. Look at what they're doing. They're understanding life. Okay, they're understanding life. So if they touching something, it's because it fascinates them. You're getting the early stages of what interests your child. See, what happens in this stage when they're toddlers, we so big and pushing them away that you're pushing away their imagination. You're pushing away their intellect. You're basically telling them what they're doing is dumb, it's stupid, and now they're going to think that, okay, I equate me touching and feeling things because I'm little and I need to know what this feel like and what it means. They'll equate that as it's a bad thing, and that's when they start getting programmed, okay? So if it's a vase or something, when they trying to touch it, hold it. Just hold it. So just hold it and let them touch it. Because, move your foot. It's okay. Because now, once you interact with them, they don't feel like it's something they have to do again. Wonder why? How are we when it's like that adrenaline rush? The adrenaline rush about to get caught type feeling. Alright? We do stuff because we like the adrenaline rush. Well, that's what toddlers do. They have an early stage of adrenaline rush. So once you allow them to touch things, now they like, that ain't fun no more. I don't want to go back and touch that because it ain't making them mad. Because how many of y'all know y'all toddlers will take something and hit it down? They want a reaction. So before they get a reaction, you interact with them. and you touch it with them, be like, oh, okay, babe, you want to touch this? Now, this is something that cannot harm them. Let them touch it. Let them touch it. If they can communicate, let them touch it and be like, what it feel like? You like that? What is this? Explain what it is, okay? Talk to them. Explain what they're touching, all right? Explain, the feel, and then compare it to something else and say, okay, you see how this feel? Do you see what this look like? Now touch this, okay? They are opening their sensories. This is how they open up other parts of their brains, okay? Let the electricity flow. Now, when it comes to like something hot or something like that, you have to explain to them. You don't just say, don't touch that. Say, baby, this is hot, all right? You can burn yourself like the stove. You can burn yourself. Don't do it. Well, just saying it's hot. Y'all can say with me having this jacket on, I'm hot, but you can still put one on. There's different levels to heat. So you express to them what the dangers of the heat is. So sometimes you can express certain things differently, okay? Lay down, babe. Do you want this? Then turn over. Now. So yeah, you have to explain things into details. And when you explain these things, then they will understand these things, okay? However, when it comes to a point where, how can I say, in certain situations, there's environmental spanking. And what environmental spanking, that's what I call it. That's when I tell you to don't do something and you do it. Now, when it happens, as long as they don't harm them, because kids are curious, then I ask them, was it worth it? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like a child loses something, right? Matter of fact, my child, so he has he be getting these little things, stuff like these little poppet things, right? So what happens is he had a couple of these, and every time you turn around, he loses them. So one day he went to school, and he supposed to have got one from school, but somebody stole it from him on the bus. He comes home and he's crying, and he's like, somebody stole it from me. Somebody stole it from me. Now, I've always tell my child, whenever you receive something, put in your book bag and don't take it out in front of people, because you already know how the people do, or the other kids do. So he comes home and he's mad and he's crying, somebody stole it. So I said, okay. And he wants me to be mad at this other child. I said, why am I mad at this other child? Because they stole it. And where do you have it? I think he said in my hand or my pocket, in my pocket. I said, is that where you're supposed to have it at? But he stole it. Is that where you're supposed to have it at? Didn't I tell you to put it in your book bag? When you receive stuff, put it in your book bag. Do you do that? No. I said, so did he steal it? Or do you put it somewhere where somebody can steal it? Now, let me say, now I told him, I said, what he did was wrong. However, for every action, there's a reaction. If you would have had it in your book bag, you would have had it home. But you didn't. So guess what? That's your consequences for not listening. Environmental beating. Okay? The environment around your environment around you spanked his behind. So now he knows, okay, when I get these little trinkets from school, to put it in my book bag so these things won't happen. That goes for anything in your house or wherever. Okay? But again, and when a child keeps doing certain things, yes, I do say pop the little knuckles or something so they know not to touch something. So, yes, the first time, let them touch the vase, but you do it in a safety way. However, as some kids are, they like, I want to touch again. Next time, okay, but you let them know, don't touch it because it will break. Explain to them what will happen. All right, now if it don't do it because it will break. And let them know, if you touch it, I'm going to have to pop your little fingers. I already let you touch it once. You're not going to touch it again. Next time, pop the little fingers, okay? So they know, if I touch this, I'm going to get popped, okay? It's something simple. You ain't got to go extreme. I ain't say go over there and whoop them like Kuna Kente. I ain't saying nothing like that, okay? When it comes to teenagers or kids in like middle school, that's when I say, okay, we spank the little behinds. Okay, they act up, but you have to make sure all the stuff that I've told you, you done already. I ain't saying jump from from one to all the way to the end. No, communication is key, because kids do things because they're not being listened to or heard or understood. Okay, you have to understand your child to understand what's going on. All right, that is the last of the last resort. Communication. You can also do therapy. If you feel like you can't communicate with your kids, do therapy. Get someone that they can talk to and communicate with. Therapy, all of this stuff is before you get to that last level, okay? Because my thing is, hold on, I'm hearing something. What you say? You said don't say that? Give me a second. You agree with it? Okay. Anyway. But yeah, so again, spanking is like the last resort. But for that, I feel like when you get to that extreme, that's normally when the kids get like older. When they younger, don't like talk, communicate. You gotta remember, your kid is you. Like, your child is you. You have to remember that. You have to think like you. But you also got to think like the other person, because they do have another parent. You have to get to that point and realize, like, okay, when I was a kid, how was I? How did I act? And I know it's going to be differences, but you have to understand their child. You got to think like a child, all right? That's where we have to disconnect that. And a lot of parents, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of parents in the world that are afraid of their kids. Really afraid of their kids. You talking about off of Murray TV show, afraid of their kids. And you're afraid of your kids because you lost a childlike spirit within yourself. That's it. You lost that childlike spirit. And now because you're grown, now you forgot how to be a child. Play with your kids. Communicate with your kids. The way that you wish somebody was there for you, do the same with your kids. You don't have to tear their behinds up all the time. Now some kids do need it. Because it's one of the things, either I get you or they gonna get you. And that's how it goes. You have to communicate with them. You have to talk to them. You understand? Even when it's not the easiest. And I know y'all, but my child won't talk to me. Okay. Well, when your child doesn't talk to you and don't want to explain stuff to you, then you gotta meet them where they're at. And I know it's like, but I'm grown. I don't meet them where they at. Figure out other ways. Get into what they like. Understand them. It is like biting nails or whatever. However, you're gonna have to force yourself to communicate. If they okay, it's like I feel like I'm feeling like I'm seeing a scenario. You have to show that you loosen up, okay? See, the thing about it is the same way you pay attention to your kids pay attention to you. So, for example, my kids, I used to be like how my mother was to me. Don't do this, don't do that. It was like teaching a child to be an adult and forgetting they're a child. But then over time, I had to loosen up. I had to start relaxing myself. Instead of jumping down the throats every 5 seconds, y'all about to see a child get popped. Put it down and go to sleep. Turn over. Now, I know I got the light on, but at the end of the day, he know how to go to sleep still with the light on. I don't care. I ain't playing. He will get popped right in front of y'all. I've already talked to him and communicate with him. Yes, that's my child and I love him, but I will pop his little finger or his behind. Keep messing with me. Oh, alright. Yes, and I do have the light on, but guess what? He know how to sleep with the light on as well. Okay, done it plenty times before. Okay, sidebar. See, I go through the same things just like y'all do. I ain't no different. But back to what I was saying. I had to loosen up. I used to be that type where I wanted everything to be super perfect and this and that, but I only handled them the way I was raised. But then I realized I didn't like it. So if I didn't like it as a child, what made me think my kids gonna like it? And my kids are more advanced than what I was. So I started loosening up. I wasn't so worried about having everything to be perfect. I wasn't worrying about everything had to be super perfect anymore. It was more so, it's like, allow them to be kids. Let me just sit back and allow them to be a child and see how they operate. See how they interact. And that's what I started doing. Instead of being down their back, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this and you got to do that. I'm like, okay. Instead of me doing that, wait, let me pull back some. Let me just allow them to be themselves and see what they do on their own. Where they pick up stuff on their own. Where they go fix, like when they got old enough to do stuff. Where they do this on their own. Where they do that on their own. Let me see where they're at. And that's what I did. So, with that being said, sometimes you got to pull yourself back and just see how intelligent your kids really are. And by doing that, you start knowing how to communicate. You start realizing, you know what? I don't give myself enough of credit as a parent. I don't give myself enough of credit. Meaning, like, sometimes we give all the instructions and we give all the advice, but we forget that, let's see if they know, if they've been paying attention. Like for my kids, especially like my kids, they would tell me, like they would act like they ain't listening, but later on I found out they was paying attention to everything I said. So allow yourself to give yourself credit when credit is due, and just sit back and watch them. Be a kid yourself. Just do something you normally don't do around them. And allow yourself to be a child. Before you know it, they'll look at you and be like, what are you doing? Before they, like, you would catch their attention and be like, Mom or Dad, what are you doing? I'm just having fun. Huh? You having fun? I don't never see you do that. Well, I'm starting today. I'm having fun. You do something crazy. Be a kid. Do something like you used to do as a kid. Play around. And they're like, what in the world? Before they know it, they're walking to you like, now you become the interesting thing. Because they so used to you playing a specific role. Now your role changed. Now you got their attention. But don't force it. Just continue doing what you do. In a way, it's like ignore them in a way, but not ignore them. Meaning, like, just be yourself. Be the kid that you wish you could be. And just do that. And before you know it, they'll come around. And just pretend like you don't see them for a second. Just do little things and stuff. And then before you know it, they're going to start coming around you. And then you be like, do you want to try? Nah. Okay. Keep on doing it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Just keep on doing it. And they're going to probably walk away. Allow them. Don't force it. And just keep doing that. And before you know it, they're going to want to interact. So, like, when it came to Christmas, I took my kids, my son loved to play basketball. However, I took him to the basketball area in the back where I stayed. And I'm like, let's play. He ain't trying to play. I said, okay, cool. I just kept playing around. I throw the ball to him. Hey, just shoot. You can shoot from wherever you at. Just kept doing that. I didn't force it. I'll play around with them. And I start shooting. Before you know it, they started getting into it. Because they realized, hold on. Why mine's over here having fun and we over here just standing still? It was that simple. A lot of times you don't force it. Just allow yourself to be in the midst of it. You understand? Before you know it, they're going to start seeing you have fun. And they're not used to you having fun. Now they're looking at themselves like, dang, I need to loosen up. So try different ways, okay? Try different ways. Try different ways first before you get to the point you want to discipline. Because my thing is this. Once you become super disciplined, then now you becoming a warden. Just to call you. Now they feeling like they're in prison. They're not being able to be creative. Communicate with them. Talk to them. Trust them. A lot of times, especially as females feel some type of way about when they have daughters and they don't trust their daughters because they know that you knew you was fast in the tail when you was a kid, so you automatically assume your child's doing the same. Don't do that. Allow them to live their life. Yes, they are you. However, don't force it, because if you start looking at them as yourself, then you are creating a younger you where they're going to go out in the streets and do all of this stuff. Don't force it. Just give them the info. When they get older, just talk to them. This is how I do it. when you're in a relationship, right, and you with a guy, and you have to look at life like this. Whoever I'm in a relationship with, my child, my daughter is watching me. If she see that I'm okay with a man putting their hands on me, if she see I'm okay with a man disrespecting me, I'm okay with a man not being there for me or not loving me the right way or loving my kids the right way, she is going to think the same thing. She's going to feel like that's the life we was raised in. That's all I know. And she's going to go out and do the same thing. So if sometimes you don't have to actually explain it, you can show it. So that means when you have daughters, make sure you're in a relationship where you are leading by example, showing them what true love look like and what loving yourself look like. Then she's going to go out here and respect herself and have those, have those conversations. I did that with my daughter. I talked to my child and I told her about pregnancies. I told her about disease. I told her about relationships. And I told her, I said, you seen the relationships I was in, all right? You saw the ups and downs. You saw it from a child perspective, from being a child, looking at a parent do this. Now picture me as you. Okay, picture you as me. And ask yourself, okay, if you was as a child and didn't like it, and you saw it from adult perspective, do you want that same life for yourself or your child when you get older? No. Okay. That's the thing. Even if you're in a bad situation, utilize that. Let your child know this. You getting an idea what the experience look like and face to face on both levels, so you know not to go out here and do the same. Okay, that goes for men as well. When you dealing with when you got boys and you got these females and they on some crazy ratchet off the wall stuff or psycho type stuff, and that goes for all races. Remember, tell your son, hey, you see the drama I gotta go with this baby mama stuff, or you got this drama I go with all this you're yelling and screaming and cursing and fighting, and that goes for women as well. With dudes that yelling and screaming. You see what I'm going through, son? All right. Do you want to deal with that type of life? So be mindful of who you messing with. Because if you what they haven't messing with, because you got to let definitely a son know, when you dealing with a female, as soon as you have an interaction with them, this is how it can happen. So be mindful of where you putting your pencil on. What pencil, how can I say it? Pay attention to where you signing your name on the paper. Because once you sign your name on that paper, just remember, whatever that contract is, you stuck with the bill. Okay? That's the best way. My son beside me. I'm trying. So, just remember that. Okay? Everybody contract is different. Alright? So, if you don't want to be stuck with no high interest rate, I'll say it like this. You don't want to be stuck with no high interest rate, then you might want to pay out of pocket. Okay? So what I mean by pay out of pocket, you might need to watch from a distance and realize, you know what? This product is not meant for me to buy today. I'm going to move on to the next. Alright? I'm not saying you're paying for females, but I'm trying to be mindful of my son beside me. So, if you understood, you understood. If not, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so y'all have to let people know that. And also with your girls, let them know, hey, if you put yourself out here, I understand, especially the older ones that are, I'm going to say this, the ones that are interactive and they are not of age. Just let them know, like, is this the life you want? Is this the life you want? Because I understand you having a good time. I get it. Been there, done that. Be real with them. I'm like this. If they are already doing the do, don't sit back and sugarcoat it. Be real with them and just say, I get it. Been there, done that. I know the feeling. Okay? You're happy. You're happy. I get it. I understand it. But there's a consequence behind it. Because you can get yourself caught up. And just because a person is telling you they love you, don't mean they're going to be there. That's just words. Okay? Words don't mean nothing. Actions do. You see how he jumping in and out? You see how every time you turn around, there's another girl around? That's already showing you that he don't respect you. And I know you don't want to hear that right now. I get it. I didn't either. I didn't want to hear it either. Okay, I never had this issue, but I'm just using an example. I didn't either. I didn't want to. I didn't pay attention. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, let me put it like this: when I became an adult, but not as a child. Okay, but yeah, just say I get it. I was there. Somebody tried to tell me the same thing. Don't be with this person. Watch out for them. And in your head, it's like, but it's my life though. I want to live my life the way I want to live it. I understand. And it is your life. And you will live it the way you want to live it. However, if I'm not your parent, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell you this information. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Have I ever failed you? No. Have I ever steered you down the wrong path? No. Have I ever tried to take your happiness away from you? No. So why would I start now? If you trusted me this far, then trust me with this as well. The person you with is not what you need. If you're going to put yourself out there, at least be with someone that's going to respect you the right way. That's going to cherish you, love you. That's going to be there for you. Don't allow yourself to be with someone that's already showing you an option and not a priority. Now, don't get me wrong. People do change. But until you see a consistent change, then you need to change lanes. Be with somebody else. Okay? But before you do that, ask yourself, do you love yourself? Yeah, I love me. How do you know? Because, and then whatever they're going to say. Well, okay. That's one part of it. But guess what? If you truly love yourself, you want to give yourself just to anybody. And I understand that hits hard. It's like, dang, Mom, why you gotta be like that for? I get it. Got it. Been down that road. But once you keep giving yourself to everyone, then guess what? You lose yourself to all of them. And once you lose yourself, then who's gonna help you find you? Okay? So before you go missing in action, get yourself together so that you know who you want around you and who you don't want around you. Protect yourself at all costs. But I'll get deeper in that. But the same thing go with guys as well. Guys as well. Have that same conversation. Be real. Like, that's the problem. Like when they in high school, be real and just say, yeah, I done the deed. I done this. I done that. Be real. That's the best conversation a child can ever have. When you be honest with them to a T. Yeah, I was in those streets. I did my thing. I was out there. This happened to me. That happened to me. Be real. Give them a real experience through your eyes. Okay? If they in middle school and stuff, God, dog, do the same thing. Have a real conversation. If you don't have a real conversation, this will allow you to take those skeletons out of your closet. What's a testimony without a test? You've been through the test. You got the testimony. So why you ain't giving the testimony before she had to take the test? Do you want her to fail it? Do you want him to fail it? Like, you already got the answers. You already got the answers. So why you ain't giving it to them? But no, you want them to figure it out on their own. Get them the information. Talk to them. Give them, I don't care what age, whatever age they are at and they going through something, you talk to them on that level and be honest with yourself and them. And communicate those things. But nah, y'all want to sit back and act like y'all never did nothing in your lives and then wonder why the kids being screwed up in the head. Because they think they have to be perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. So why the heck we trying to force them to be perfect? Are they going to make mistakes? Yes. That's the beauty in life. But long they live from the mistakes, they ain't got caught up from the mistakes, and they ain't being tortured by the mistakes. We all being tested. So we have to communicate ourselves as such. If anyone that you feel like you need to tell your business to, it should be your child. You can go tell it to everybody else. And then when it comes to your child, you act like a saint. You better let that child know you a sinner. Shucks. Let them know. Shucks. I'm a heathen. I need some blessed oil right now. Just like, be real. I had to do it with my child. I told her about a lot of different things. Even my son, I tried to, but like I tell y'all, when it comes to boys, sometimes you need another man to be in the picture, or another man that knows about life, that got the right mindset to talk. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of females that have raised men to be amazing. However, there's still some missing keys that that these boys still need from a man. You understand? They can understand from a female mouth, but it is better from the males, because now they have something to fully connect to. When it comes to females, there's still like a slight disconnect. Not all the time, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's a lot of females that done a great job, amazing job. But some kids, they do need that fatherly touch, that father information, or that male information. So if you feel like there's a disconnect, then you need to connect them with a man that you know that you can trust. Because in today's days, I'm put like this, and I have to be mindful. The old school females could raise a man, a boy the right way, on the old school values, the old school ways. But these new age females that talk all reckless, what they call it, modern days, I think, yes, I don't know. I'm not into all of it like that. But hold on. But yeah, y'all gonna screw these boys' heads up, cause y'all talking to them like they y'all man. So just be mindful. Remember, these are your kids and not your husbands. And you know what? Nah. The old school females used to act like the kids was their husbands. That's why they was able to raise them the way they did, because they already talked to them like a man. I'm not saying that was right, but it worked for a good amount. Now these females talk to their boys like they the boyfriend, like a sneaky link. That's what it is. So one, the old school treat them like a husband for longevity, and taught them how to handle certain things, as what a man that is married is supposed to do. Okay. But the new schoolers, yeah, y'all talk to y'all sons like they y'all boyfriends, like they y'all sneaky links on the side. That's how y'all talk to them, man. Cause that's how you communicate with your boyfriends or whatever. It's like an in and outer thing. It's like a jump off thing. It's like, yeah, I ain't gonna get deep in that. So I do truly feel that you need to have a man that you do trust. I don't care if it's your cousin, your uncle, your granddaddy, your daddy, somebody, and just say, hey, is it okay if my son can come over to your house and chill? Like, he got some things going on, and it's not the easiest for me to talk about. I tried, but I feel there's still a disconnect, and I just needed him to get it from a man's point of view. Can he come chill with you today, or you can take him out today? I'll give you the money, to take them out to eat or something. Just have a sit down with them and do it like that. Or if it's not too much, like once a week, once a month, can you come and pick him up? So just so he can, like, for just an hour or something like that, or contact him to check on him, so he can have a man that he can trust, that he can talk to. Can you do that for me? I would really appreciate it, because he needs that male figure, and I can't pretend that I'm one. I'm doing the best I can. But I know, to be the best mother I can be, I have to put my pride to the side and allow a man to be in his life. I know his daddy ain't here like he's supposed to, and I try to communicate with him, but it ain't work. So, can one of y'all do it? Simple as that, y'all. Don't put your pride to the side, okay? I know you're a strong woman. It goes all around the world. I know you're strong and all. But guess what? Even the strongest needs have weak moments. Y'all see my behind cry like a little baby? Like, no child. Like, I have my little weak moments too. So if I have one, then why you feeling some type of way about yours? Okay, it's natural. Now, long you ain't crying 24/7, you crying 24/7. Child, get some help. You need to do some real soul searching, okay? However, even the strongest even the strongest has a weak moment. Okay? So always remember that. Don't get to the point that you're so strong that you overuse your energy to the point you weaken yourself. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, hey, I ain't got all the answers. It's okay to say, I don't know how to spell that word. Because, God, dog, it's a lot of words. I'm like, what the heck? I can't spell this goddamn word. It is what it is. But do I let that tear me down? Do I let that make me feel bad as a person? No. Because I know what I need to know. And what I don't need to know, my brain ain't going to store it up. It's going to allow something else to be able to let me know the information. And then after it's gone, I erase that out and have storage for the next. Okay, I hear somebody saying college. Yep, college. Alright, for when kids are about to go to college, I understand you're scared, and you're like, it's my baby, I don't know. Well, ask yourself, do you trust in your education, your teaching abilities? Do you trust in your teaching abilities? If the answer is yes, then why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? You taught your child everything that you needed to teach them. So, trust in your teaching. No different. You don't see teachers in schools sitting back crying, oh my God, they going to the next grade. Oh my God. They say, carry your behind on. Next. They trust what they teach. They trust what they teach. They feel that that child went through enough of tests. The child went through enough of assignments, homework, everything. If they didn't believe in their teaching, why did they pass them?
There's a fly in here.
It's okay. Go to sleep. Why would they pass them? So the same thing. You have to be able to realize that apparently you did enough for them to be able to go to college. You know how many people that don't go to college? So if your child wants to go and did the work, did everything, then trust it. Are they going to make mistakes? Yet. What I about to say? But yeah, are they going to make mistakes? Yes. Let them. Let them. But that's why you have to have communication with your kids so they can know they have someone to call. Be like, Mom, guess what happened? This happened. All right, well, what we can do, okay. And listen to, do that. It's not going to be easy all the time, okay? It's not. Some days you're going to be worried or whatever. And yes, some kids don't talk to their parents. But then you got to question yourself, what did I do wrong? Why did my child don't feel like they can communicate with me? Where's the disconnect at? Where was the problem? You understand? Don't force it down, and don't force it down their throat and be like, it was your fault. No, child, it was yours. It was yours. Because that lets you know you didn't have an open communication with them. That lets you know that you never got a chance to get to know your child. You understand? But I'm going to use myself as an example, okay? I have two teenagers. One of my teenagers, they sit back and call me and tell me everything about their life. Everything. Since this transition and everything moving over, everything about her life. The other day she was reading me the text messages from her friends. That's how much she communicates with me. Now I have my oldest. Sorry, I have my oldest. He's a boy, okay? And I have did everything to communicate with him, but there was times that my communication wasn't the best. But that was because of all this crazy stuff that was going on in our life. So it caused a rift with us, right? It caused a rift. However, so when I communicate with him, he'll be like, I say, hey, babe, how you doing? Good. How was your day? Good. Do you do anything today? Yes. School? Good. Grades? Good. Good conversation. And it used at first, it would mess with me. However, whenever he had those spurs of the moments, he'll contact, when I contact him or whatever, he'll be super hyper or whatever like that. However, for me, it's like I look at it as, what if this was a college thing? The great thing about it is, despite the fact of our communication with right now, he's just uneasy because of what's going on with me. And he's not sure. He loves me to death. All my kids love me to death. It's just, this situation is weird to him. And I get it. So that's why I don't pressure him. I don't like when we first split, well, not split, but first when he first moved with their father, because of what they did to me, I would be like, why you don't call me? Why you don't call me? Why you don't say nothing to me? Why? You can call me. I took offense to it. I'm gonna be honest, I took offense. Why you don't call me? Like, I've always been there for you. I always communicated with you. I always gave you time. I always played with you. I did everything. Because he was the type that when we used to hang around each other, he would have so much fun with me to the point, I think I told y'all before, he would call his friends. Put his friends on the phone and they laughing and joking with me. Like, that's the type of relationship we had. But once this stuff happened, it just screwed everything up. But at the same time, I trust him. And it worked out. So now it's like, because of the situation, he proved that he was listening to me. The stuff that he does, his grades are still doing great. He still have manners, all of these things. But just because he don't pick up the phone and call me, it didn't change our relationship, because the love is still there. And no different than when I contact him, he might say 1 or 2 words, but I know the love is still there. I still trust him. You got to do the same. So what I'm trying to say is, for the parents that have been in their kids' life and have done the things, sometimes you're just going to have to let the kids, it's no different than a bird, a little bird flying out the nest. You got to trust that they can fly. You got to believe in it. Now, don't get me wrong. I do ask my daughter, be like, yeah, is he straight? Yeah, okay. That's all I got. I just want to make sure he's straight. He's good. He's fine. He still play around and joke around like he normally do. Okay. Long, everything still good. But no, like, you gotta know that this is an experience for them. And they trying to make sure that the decisions they make are their own and not yours. They want to make sure that if I make a mistake, it's because I made a mistake. If I succeed, it's because I succeeded, and not because I'm still, my parents are still holding me. Okay? So just trust the process. Continue to pray. If you sit back and keep, nagging them, you're going to push them away further. You're going to push. They ain't going to come to the Thanksgiving dinners or the family reunions or nothing. Okay? But just remember, if your kids bring the clothes home, or they come pop up and want something to eat, or they go into the pantry and stuff and start grocery shopping, you are good. That's a good sign, okay? That's a good sign. They still need you, okay? That's the thing. That's really what it boils down to. You're feeling like, are they going to still need me? Yes, they are. Allow them to fly. A couple of their feathers might fall off, and the wing might get a little damage here and there. But when they feel like they're ready to come back, they know how to come back. Don't all birds know how to go back home? But if you keep leaving it in a cage, what happens to them? They go crazy. And then they never want to come back again. I ain't never seen a bird that was released from a cage go back to the cage and willingly if they felt like they were stuck. Okay? So, that goes for that. Adult kids. You got adults that's out here that's not in college and they live in life. Communicate. Just communicate. Once in a while, just say, hey, just checking on you. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. You wanna go out to eat or something? Nah, I'm good. Okay. But just keep communicating every week. Hey, just checking on you. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. You want to go out to eat or something? Nah, I'm good. Okay. Next week, you good? Yeah, I'm good. You want to go out to eat or you need something? Nah, I'm good. Just keep doing it. Keep communicating with them. Eventually, one of those days you pick up the phone and you're going to say, babe, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. Want to go out to eat? Yeah, let's go out to eat. Consistency. Especially if you're not used to being in your child's life like that. Consistency. Don't force it. Consistency. Just continue to keep communicating. Eventually, one of those days, they will say, I do want to talk. Because they realize, yo, she or he been keep contacting me over and over. They keep calling and checking. They ain't forcing it, but they just asking, am I okay? You know what? Nobody else been asking me if I'm okay. Everybody else been doing stuff with the people I'm hanging out with and I'm going out to clubs with, I'm chilling with. They don't never check just to see if I'm okay. If they do, they want something out of it. My mom and my dad, when they do it, they asking me if I want something. You know what? Freak these people. I'm going back home and I'm going to just chill and I'm going to just talk. And I got all this stuff going on. I need a break. Somebody's about to cry. Okay, I feel somebody's energy. Yeah. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. People that, okay, I'm going to different things. If you was a parent and you gave up your child, okay, and you gave up your child, and you feel like, just be honest with your child. The truth hurt, but the truth hurts, but honesty heals. Be honest. Tell them the reason why you did what you did. And I understand that the life that they live, even if it was a bad life, just let them know it would have been way worse with me. I understand what you went through was real bad, but just think, if you was with me, you probably wouldn't even be here today. That's the realness. Probably wouldn't be here today. Especially for the ones that's on drugs or something like, you would not be here today. So I understand you being in those homes, and I understand, and you probably say, I would have had it would have been better if I'm dead. I get that, but you're alive though. You're alive. And that's what all that matters. I may not be the best in situation, but I'm here now, and I can do the best I can. If you allow me into your life. Now if they don't, hey, you can't be mad at that, because that was your choice. But if they allow you in, communicate. And whoever did, if they wasn't a good home, whoever raised them, don't be mad, be thankful and say thank you. I thank you for doing that. But also be mindful, and this could be if the kids are little or whatever. Also just say, hey, out of due respect, is it okay if in your presence, can I come around? Because one, you need to make sure that they're comfortable with you too, because you left that life. So you make sure you say, hey, I want to spend time with my child, but before I do it alone, can we do it all together? Because I want to build not their trust, but your trust as well. Can we all go hang out together, do something together? I may not have all my pieces still together, but I need to let them know that I do still love them, because I'm here. I do love them. So can we all communicate together? And I need to let you know, I'm still fixing myself, so I might have moments. I'm not perfect yet. I'm not close to perfection yet. But just bear with me. That's why I need you with me in this process. Don't look down at me as a bad person. I'm not trying to take your spot. I know I'm the original, but I ain't trying to take your spot. But I'll be happy if you allow me to have a piece, be able to share the spot with you. I'm not trying to cause any friction or any problems, but if you allow me to share the spot with you, so I can be able to get to know my child, because at the end of the day, she or he has family, and I want them to get to know them as well. Even if they don't like me, that's fine, but I want to get enough of communication where they get to know where they came from, because in order to know where they're going, they got to know where they came from. Is that okay? All right? If the child is adult, just communicate. Be honest. Tell the harsh truth. Tell the truth. I don't care if you could say, I didn't want you. Be honest, I didn't. But I was screwed up in the head. I didn't want you. Be real. Truth hurts, but honesty heals. It's going to take some time, but stay consistent. Hey, babe, call and check on you. Are you okay? I'm okay. You want to go out to eat? No, I'm good. Hey, babe, you okay? You understand? Consistency. That's all anyone in the world wants, is something consistent. Something consistent. That's all anyone in the world wants. It's consistency. We're so used to people. I'm gonna hurt this child. I'm about to throw this child in the phone, y'all. But that's all we want. It's consistency. The problem in the world, no one is consistent. Everyone is in for what they can get, and then they out after they receive it. So be consistent. Continue to communicate. Continue to try. Don't force it. You can tell. You can tell when something is being forced. No different than if you can tell when somebody forcing themselves on you, they can tell the same. Okay? Don't beat it in their heads. All right? Don't sit back and demand them and say, I did this for you. I did that. You supposed to. Let me say it again. I did this for you. I did that for you. This is how you going to treat me. How did that sound coming out? How does it sound? Does it sound like love the way I said it? It sounds like you are my authoritative, meaning like you. It's like you the warden. You're my warden. It don't sound like love. I understand you saying, look, babe, I've been there in your life. I've done everything that I can, and I truly love you. And I'm not understanding why you're treating me the way you. No, don't say it like that. I don't understand why you're feeling the way you do. Okay? You got to take it off of yourself. Because when you say you treated me, now you putting words in their mouth. You don't even know what's going on. Something could have happened to them that you don't even know that could have been horrible. Somebody could have touched them. Somebody could have did something to them. And that's why they acting out. And now you blaming them for something that happened to them that they didn't even ask for. So just say, I just want to know what's going on with you. I feel there's something going on with us. Is there anything that has happened? Why is it that we having this disconnect? I want us to connect together. What is it that you feel that I need to do to help you? If it's nothing for me to help you, what is it that you want? What is it that you want out of me? As your mother or as your father, excuse me. What is it you want out of me? What do you want from me? What do you see me as your parent? Okay, what do you need from me? Let me know. What do you need from me, and so I can provide that. Because I don't want to force nothing on you. What do you need from me right now? Oh, I need this, and that. Okay, I can provide that. Is there anything else you need from me? I need this. Okay, all right. Now on this other thing, we don't agree to disagree. I'm not for sure, but we can change this other thing up. Okay. As a parent, do you feel like I'm being a good parent to you? No. Why you feel like I'm not being a good parent? Because you don't listen to me. You talk at me. You disrespect me in front of other people. You sit back, and whenever I do something good, you always got to compare it to something that you've done before. You always make me feel like every time when I'm doing my best. You might not think it, but I'm doing my best. But then you sit there and dog me out, and I'm already stressed out because I thought I was doing the best that I could, and I tried. But because it's something that you know how to do, you assume that I'm supposed to know how to do it. And when it comes to the other siblings, it's like you treat me different than you treat them. And then sometimes it's like I try to spend time with you, but when I do, you like, nah, I'm busy. And then when I'm over there doing something, now you want to demand my time. Then on top of that, every time I turn around, you spend more time with your friends than you spend with me. I even see you hanging out with their kids, and then when it comes back to me, you act like you ain't got enough of time. Every time I turn around, I want to do something with you. Oh, you on the phone talking to somebody, or you always doing this, or you doing it. Take it. Take it. Take it and own up to it. You're right. You're right. I do all of that. You're right. I do it. And I got to take ownership of it, because I looked at myself as being the parent and you the child, and forgot that I would have to parent my child. or I have to be the parent to my child. And then I'm over here demanding you to do all these things, and I haven't even been the parent you deserve. So, yeah, you're right. So, let me start doing what I need to now. It's too late. It's never too late. See, reason why I kept doing what I was doing, because nobody called me out on it. No one called me out on it, so I thought I was doing right. Because everyone else around me is doing the same thing. Same thing that has happened to me, it's happened to you, is what happened to me as a child. So I just assumed this is what parenting was about. I didn't have any other options or any other influence out here in the world. So I only done what I know. But you got all the other resources, I get it. But it's hard to change a habit when all the habits is surrounding you. So you know what? I thank you for standing up to me and telling me how you truly feel. That proves to me how strong you truly are, and I respect that. I understand you my child, and I understand that this had to be hard for you to tell me. But instead of me dogging you out and coming at you the hard way, I'm going to take ownership of it, and today I'm going to do everything I can to make changes. Now bear with me, because I can't change overnight, but I'm going to take one step at a time. And at any given moment, if you see that I'm doing something, now there's a respect level, but if you see I'm doing something, let me know. Because sometimes when you're stuck in a certain habit, it's hard to not realize that you're still doing it. So just say, hey, mom, like, you've been on the phone for a while. Can we do something? All right, you right. I've been up here about an hour now. Let me get off. Hey, girl, let me get off real quick. Let me go hang out with the kids. Mom, you're doing it again. I just completed this project, and you comparing it to a project you did. Okay, you're right. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you. Thank you. That looks amazing. Mom, you doing it again. You over here. Every time you talking about you at the love, but you hanging out again. Like you've been hanging out all weekend. You right. I'm going to stay home. Okay? I'm going to stay home tonight. What y'all want to do? You want to popcorn a movie? Yeah. Okay. I got you. Don't tell me nobody didn't tell y'all. That goes for men as well. Alright. I think I gave y'all enough of information on every level. I don't know why this is the last thing in my head. And I know it's going to sound weird the way I say it, but it makes a difference. Date your kids. And what I mean date your kids is the same way you go on a date and you try to get to know a person, get to know your child. Take them out somewhere, even at home, cook a meal or do something. Just y'all two together. And I understand if you got multiple kids, then do a family night together, and then make sure you spend individual time with each child. Equal individual time with each child. Every child need their own time. I understand you got like 30 kids. I get it. I got it. But you better find 30 hours in a day. Figure it out. Today, all right, I'm going to spend an hour or two with these three or four today. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the same and do like that. But that's another thing. When you talk with your kids and you got multiple kids, like for myself, I don't buy my kids nothing if I can't buy all of them something. Okay? Because I'm not going to let one child feel like the other child is more important than the other. So if I go to the store and you don't have to do it all the time, but I try to do this because I try to let my kids know that I'm not picking favorites. So unless it's like clothes or something, like, no, it's not clothes. So say for example, if I do something for one child, I'll get like the other one's a candy or something. It don't have to be super significant, but if I'm doing something, I do it like that. Now, once in a blue moon, I'll let them know, today's your special day. I'm doing something just for you. Tomorrow, I'm going to do something just for you. The day after, I'm going to do something just for you. But I keep it equal all the way across the board. Okay? I don't care. Like, if I do something nice for one, I'm doing nice for everyone. Okay? Make sure you do that. Don't get to the point where you got your special child where you only do things for them and then the other ones get neglected. Make sure you give out equal love all the way across the board. I don't care if that child piss you off. Okay? Even when my kids piss me off, okay, like I will explain to them, be like, all right, since you was in trouble, I'm not doing something for you today, okay? And I do for them. That's something different. However, if everybody bringing something to the table and they doing good, make sure you treat them all the same. Don't pick and choose. I don't care if you get along with this one, you don't. That child that you're not that getting along with could be the one that's supposed to save your behind later on. That's the one probably supposed to give you the kidney, and they'll be like, nope, you kick me to the curb, so your kidney gonna get kicked to the curb. So be mindful. And basically, long story short, everything I'm teaching y'all now on how to take care of your kids, because if you don't take care of them, guess what? Don't get mad when a nursing home takes care of you. On that note, y'all have a blessed day.